welcome everyone. Welcome Jane.
Hi, Simi.
Great to have you with us here today. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Well, very excited. It's Friday.
Same, absolutely. I've been really looking forward to our conversation today. Welcome to everyone that is joining. We are going live today on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I'm here with the magnificent and wonderful Jane McKay. Who's a lead.
You made me blush.
Oh, well, I was going to do an introduction for you now. Absolutely. To let everyone know that you're the one of Australia's leading marketing experts and personal branding experts. So it's great to have you on the show today because we'll be talking all about increasing visibility. Now, before we launch into the topic, which I'm super excited about, I just want to welcome everyone that's joining. Feel free, please, to ask questions, comment in the chat. Let us know that you're here in terms of where you're dialing in from. I know this timing doesn't work for all time zones. People do watch the replay. So welcome to those if you're watching a replay. That's really, really great. Lovely to have you as part of the community. And just by way of introduction, for those of you who don't know, my name is Simi Rayet. I'm an executive leadership coach and business psychologist, the founder and principal psychologist of Wellbeing Face. And we're a thriving psychology coaching and consulting practice. So today we're talking all about becoming visible. And it's a really, really important topic because I don't know about you, Jane, and it'd be great to hear your thoughts. But a lot of the leaders that I coach often really struggle with this particular aspect because they feel that they don't want to be self-promotional, they don't want to be drawing attention to themselves, they don't want to be coming across as bragging. And quite often they think that, they just need to be there doing the amazing work that they're doing, head down, and everyone's going to come past and notice this amazing work that they're doing. But It doesn't work like that, does it?
No, it's one of the things that people really struggle with. And it's something that we are actually taught is, don't be a show off. Don't be a show off. One of the ways I put it to my clients is the more you can show up and be visible, the more you can help people. Because the more people who know about you, the more you are able to help them. So that's one way I put it to my clients when I work with them every day to coach them through their visibility, their marketing, and developing that confidence to show up and just be themselves. But it's something that I struggle with. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not a naturally out there person. I do have to psych myself up to do things like this. But again, and I said it to you before, there's someone out there waiting for you to show up and change their lives. And that's how you have to think about if you're the leader in your industry, if you're having impact, if you're changing people's lives, you have to remember that when you show up, there's someone out there waiting to hear from you and waiting to work with you so that you can give them that transformation.
Love that, Jane. That's so powerful and really motivating. I often like to think of it as the acronym HOPE, help one person every day. And if you are showing up and you are being visible, and even if it is that one person that you can impact, that's incredible because one person every day, that's 7 people in the week. And then you've got 30 people a month. And slowly, the ripple effect increases.
And that momentum builds.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I really resonate with what you say, Jane, because I'm actually also an introvert at heart. And for me to be able to show up and be visible, it has taken me a lot of courage to step out of my comfort zone and do that. And very much I, would do all this work with my clients and get great feedback, but then not share it or not know how to share it without feeling really uncomfortable. Yes. I really do resonate with what you share there. So when you think about your clients, what is it do you think that they find difficult to to be visible and to show up? What in particular do they struggle with?
Well, number one has to be fear. Fear holds people back from being fully visible and embodying their message really authentically. There's so much noise out there online. People feel that they don't want to be adding to that noise. They don't want to be intruding on people's spaces, annoying them. And they also feel that they need to be like other more successful people that they see who are already highly visible, instead of stepping out in their own message and just being themselves and sharing your unique message. And the fear of being judged is a really big one. And I know I've experienced this myself and my clients experience it. And it's not even necessarily from strangers, but it can be from your loved ones or your friends going, what if people think I'm showing off? But as I said, you have your unique way of doing things, and people out there are going to resonate with that and need you in their lives. And no one is you, and that is your power. So even if people are already out there sharing in your niche, there is no one who does what you do exactly the same way as what you do, with your skills, your experience, and your energy and your personality. So that is a really big barrier for people for showing up, is that they fear they're going to be judged, or they're going to do it wrong, or that someone's going to laugh at them. And it comes back almost to those really childlike fears that we have showing up at school when we're younger and doing a presentation. And I see that in my clients. And once they get over that fear, as I said, that momentum really gets going. From a practical standpoint, another big fear is tech. Tech can be a really big barrier to people getting up and being visible. I know you're using a tool that allows you to stream to multiple places at once, but just pick one platform, start showing up, do it consistently, get a bit of practice, and you'll see that momentum come.
Great. Yeah, great tips there, Jane. And, I really resonate with what you're sharing in terms of we are all unique. There's no other single person in the world that is another Jane McKay. Same experiences, qualities, energy. Absolutely, there isn't one of a kind, and we're all like that.
We
And
are.
we can actually really embrace that. Then, regardless of how many people that have wrote articles or done presentations on becoming visible, or leadership skills, the way in which you tell that narrative, the story, the impact that you're able to evoke in others, no one will be able to do it in that exact same way as you. And when I think of it in that way, Jane, I feel that then surely we all have this responsibility to put ourselves out there. And
Absolutely. But
after that,
it can be so daunting. And I get that. I totally get that. But yeah, you have a responsibility not only to the clients that need you, but also to yourself. You've worked hard on building your brand, building your business, developing this unique skill set, gaining all that experience. So you have a right to be out there and say, you know what, this is what I do. This is how I do it. Come and work with me.
definitely. And also thinking of it from, leaders in the corporate world, like I said, very often head down, really doing this amazing work and hoping for that recognition, hoping to be noticed for a promotion. But if you're not that, and that's not going to happen automatically. It's not, because everyone's so busy in their work. Your boss is busy in their work. Everyone's so busy delivering. Unless you bring it to the attention, it's really, really not going to get as noticed as you want. So we'll talk about some ways that we can really raise the visibility in the workplace as well. But I guess before we go on to that, I would love to really get an understanding from you in terms of what do you see as being the purpose, the real purpose of bringing visibility, of being visible and bringing visibility to the work and the value that we bring?
So if you think of the highly successful people in your niche, like the people you look to as gurus, it isn't necessarily their qualifications or their experience that give them the level of influence and impact. It's the fact that they got clear on their values, embodied their message, backed themselves and got highly visible. And if you feel that you do things differently to others and you have a level of understanding and thinking that has a right to have a place of influence within your workplace or as a personal brand, then it's so important to get visible, because unless, as you said, you stand up and you get visible, no one's going to know. No one's going to see you sitting there silently in the corner working really hard on a project and helping people. You need to stand up on your own platform and being able to say that in a really clear way. And in terms of why this is important, being visible allows your audience to get to know you, to get to trust, to get to like you. You hear marketers talk about this all the time: know, like, and trust, and grow to trust you. And ultimately, we're all in the industries of trust. And if people don't trust you, they won't buy from you as a personal brand, and they won't invest in what you have to say in terms of being within a corporate environment. And being visible helps you build trust with your audience very rapidly, much more rapidly than trying to let your work quietly do the talking for you. And trust is the crucial element of building a personal brand. It is the foundation of your reputation within an organization, and your personal brand if you're working for yourself or with a group of others. So when we're building that visibility, influence, and impact, it's easy to look to celebrities and feel, oh, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be famous. And that's fine. But you've got to remember that there are millions of people out there who have visibility, influence, and impact, but with the people who are important to them. So it's about your audience and how you can have influence and impact on them and be visible within that very important circle that you have created, or that you are creating through other means. So it's not about being famous, it's about being a thought leader. I know that term is a bit overused, but it is actually owning your place as a thought leader and influencing, shaping and having impact on your industry or your niche, or owning your rightful place as the go-to person as your niche, someone who really has something innovative and important and insightful to say that can change people's lives or change the course of a project or something that's happening within an organization.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing from what you're saying, Jane, it's really important to be super clear on the value that you're bringing. Because if you're super clear on that value, you can be confident in what it is that you're sharing and what you're bringing to the table. And that hopefully can help you feel that you can be visible, you can share that message with others to help. And as you said, really recognizing who is that audience that you're wanting to really add that value to. You mentioned something really important about values. Tell me a little bit more, because I am a big advocate for becoming really clear on your values, personally and professionally. So tell me, how does this link into being more visible?
So one of the things that you and I have talked about a lot is values. So your values are the very center of the core of your being, essentially. And so often we're told by the gurus in marketing, of which there are many, that you need to do this, this, and this, and then marketing will just be easy. But the thing that I've learned through working with my clients is that unless we bring everything back to our values and start there and build from those values as our foundation, everything else will feel out of alignment. And for me, values are very much not only about ourselves, but about how we work with our clients, what we expect from our clients. And I find that my clients are often a very close values match with who I am. So when you get really clear on your values, that helps your messaging become easier, because you know exactly how you want to feel and what you want to say and how you want to energetically show up. But also, it makes your marketing feel really aligned and natural. And it gives you this innate confidence, because you always feel authentic in what you're saying. It makes it so much easier to show up, because if you're saying what you feel you should say or what other people have told you to say, the shoulds of the world, and I hate the word should, it's really difficult to show up because you feel really misaligned with what you're saying, and you just feel that ickiness that so often is associated with marketing and sales, and that sleaziness, and you don't feel good about what you're saying. Whereas if you get really values aligned and values-based with your marketing, having confidence, being clear, being articulate is a really natural flow on from that. And when you have, and I've said this, I say this to death, but when you're showing up in your marketing and you feel really aligned and, you know, just so happy about showing up and saying what you're saying, you never feel like you're selling. And so marketing, the role of having a personal brand, and the role of all of this building of the visibility and the influence and the impact is to make the sale the natural next step for clients that want to work with you. It's about attracting people into your world, not trying to pull them in, and be really overt in your messaging. It feels so natural when you're coming from a place of your own core values.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's really interesting when you say that if you're not being authentic, it doesn't feel great for yourself. But, you know, others sniff that out too. We all have what I say, you know, BS meters. We can sniff out when someone's not genuinely being themselves, when they're just not being authentic. And that instantly creates a level of disconnect from you and that person. So it completely is the opposite of what you're really trying to achieve. So the authenticity part is really key. And I love what you share in terms of connecting that back to your values and being super clear on what your values are, so that when you show up, you are absolutely, genuinely and authentically being you and owning that space. And that's, I think, where deep relationships and connections can really start to happen.
Because marketing is all about building relationships ultimately. And as I said, we're all in industries of trust, but that trust can be broken instantly. If there is that ickiness feeling, we can pick it, because it's not even us consciously. We forget about our gut instincts and our instincts that come to play when we're dealing with other people. If you come from a place of misalignment, people can feel that.
Yeah.
No matter what talk you're talking, we can feel that instantly. And it's not natural. We don't feel good about it. You want people to feel good about buying into your business.
Yeah. And also, as a leader in a business, in a corporate environment, you want people to be able to trust you, to trust what you're delivering, and trust the value that you're bringing. And we'll talk and share up some tips in terms of for leaders as well in their business. But if you do have any questions, for those of you that are listening and watching the show, please feel free to put a question in the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking. If there's anything that's really striking you with what's being said or really resonating with you, please definitely do let us know. And Sharon, thank you. I love what you're sharing here when you say you completely agree that marketing is all about building and investing in relationships. Jane and I could not agree with that anymore. Absolutely. So Jane, you know, if you were to really share some tips and strategies to help leaders, business owners really increase their visibility, what would some of those tips be?
Well, as I said, as we've said, come back to your values and work out what they are, and your messaging, and be clear on what you do, why you do it, who you do it for. And that goes for leaders as well as people who are building a personal brand outside of an organization, leaders in every realm. You know, think about these things before you want to show up, because I know it can be really nerve-wracking, but just rip the Band-Aid off and go live, do a reel, go live on LinkedIn if you've got that facility, create a YouTube video, and just do it. Because once you've done it, you get into you're just breaking down those fear. And I talk about, building the building blocks of visibility. You just start small, and then you add another one, then you add another one, and you just take these little steps. But I would recommend picking 4 activities to do in 1 week. I know it can be scary, but just all you need is your phone, and just get really clear on what you do, get really clear on why you do it and who you do it for. Picture them in your mind, picture that perfect client or that outcome that you want to achieve before you show up, pretend you're speaking to just one person who needs to hear your message, and just do it. And when you're visible, don't be afraid that you're going to get it wrong. You know, if you want to see something that's hilarious, just go back and look on my YouTube videos from back in the day, because you'll have a laugh. But none of us gets it right the first time.
Yeah.
None of us is a natural, well, some of us are, but I certainly am not. None of us show up and do it perfectly the first time. But at the same time, you're still being authentically you. And that's actually what people really love about people going live and being vulnerable. You know, we talk about Brene Brown and being vulnerable. That's what people love about other people. We're still people building relationships with other people, and no person is perfect, and we understand that about people, and it's that authenticity. And often, you know, I'll make jokes or I'll say something silly or awkward, because I am awkward often, that people really resonate with, and they'll comment and or send me a message and go, oh my gosh, you know, I loved that bit, you know. And showing up and doing that stuff, and just do it, just show up and just do it once, do it twice, do it 3 times, do it 4 times, and by then you'll go, okay, that wasn't so bad, you know. And all you need is a phone. You don't need loads of fancy tech. And if the tech scares you, find a safe space like a Facebook group, or just make a Facebook group with a couple of close friends or peers and go live and practice with each other, because the only way you're going to get better is in the practice. But also, don't let the planning get in the way of the action, because I'm big on doing that. You know, if I plan to go live, it's sort of the same thing. Yeah.
I love that, Jane. You know, really, really helpful, because I can test to, you know, really test to what you're sharing. I, for a long time, was very scared of doing videos. And in fact, I would hate the camera. For a long time, I've hated the camera. So for me to then record myself talking, sharing content, and for those of you that have been following myself on LinkedIn, social media now, you've seen a few of the videos that I've done, and it has been, you know, a process of me doing one video, building up that little bit of confidence, and then doing the next one. And honestly, it started off really, really daunting. That when I posted the video, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? What are people going to think? To then the second time I did it, I recorded the video quickly, edited it quickly, and put it out there. And then it didn't even look at my phone till the end of the day. And it just really helped to do it again and again. And you're right, it's an evolution. We're all in this, and we're in this together. It's an evolution. And honestly, even now, it's the 4th live that we're doing. It's great, Jane, to have you on my 4th live. But that's also been an evolution too. And it's a learning process. And I'm just also thinking for leaders in the business world, if you're really looking to increase your visibility, you know, there's things that you could do in terms of, for example, speaking up in meetings. You know, share what your ideas, what you're thinking, what your views are. Don't keep them in, because I'll guarantee you someone else sat next to you or in the meeting will say something very similar, and afterwards you'd be thinking, I wish I would have said that. That's what I was thinking. And who gets the credit? Who gets the acknowledgement? They do. And who misses out? You do. So definitely, I would encourage you to speak up as much as you can in meetings with your ideas and your views. Like Jane said, back yourself. Really back yourself. And then secondly, another great way is to ask questions. Become curious. Quite often we think that we've got to know everything, and if we ask the question, we may sound like we don't really know what we're on about, or we don't really get what's going on here. But really asking a curious question, again, is a great way to increase your visibility by showing your real level of engagement and interest. And another really good way is ask for feedback. So you may be thinking, well, why would I want to be asking for feedback? ask for feedback, because what that does is it allows you to talk about the great things that you've been doing. It allows you to have to create a safe and open space that you can talk about a project and you can talk about the value that you've brought to it. And also, it draws attention to the great work you've been doing by bringing it to the front and center of your manager's mind. So just a couple of tips there. I think another one, Jane, I think you'll agree with me on this one, would be, use LinkedIn as a platform. Even if you are not a content creator, if you haven't got your own business, but you are a leader in your organization, in your team, use LinkedIn as a way not to just scroll through posts, but to become really active, to engage on other people's posts, write comments, share any good articles that you've read, share any good books that you've read, anything that you feel is going to help others and get you noticed, to get you more visible online, on LinkedIn, and within your network, within your industry, and also within those contacts outside of the industry as well that you're looking to build those relationships with. So a couple of tips there. Jane, like anything else to add from your side? Is there a tip, that perhaps you want people to avoid doing when they're getting?
I don't know. Don't create content for the sake of creating content. Have a purpose to your content, have an outcome for people, deliver value. We talk about that a lot in content creation. But coming back to LinkedIn as a platform, it's such a good platform to provide insights into your own industry and position yourself as that expert. If you have innovative thinking, if you're sitting there and going, oh, I won't share that, someone else has already said that, you'll say it in a different way to how they've said it anyway. So, and also being interested in your own industry and demonstrating that through sharing on LinkedIn is another way to get noticed, because people, if you're leading a conversation on your own industry, you're encouraging others to get involved. Don't be afraid to tag people that who would be interested and start those conversations, because again, it comes back to relationship building. And the more conversations you have, 30 conversations a month, one every day with different people, you're building that network of people who are getting to know you as an innovative thinker, someone who provides insights, someone who's an expert in their field. And think about different ways to get creative around that.
Great tips there, Jane. Absolutely. And I think finally, I just want to share that working in a corporate, another great way to increase your visibility is to find yourself a sponsor in the business. So someone that's going to advocate for you. So a sponsor is someone that will have power and influence because of the position that they hold in the organization. And express to them, let them know what it is that you're wanting to achieve and the value that you bring, and ask in terms of how they could support you in that journey. And ask that question of, would they be willing to be a sponsor for you? Because again, you'll gain visibility in meetings or conversations that you're not even present at, but your sponsor can advocate for you. So there's always different ways. And another way is put yourself forward for a challenging project. Put your hand up to say, I would love to do that. That really shows to your manager, your boss, that you're ambitious, you're driven, you've got a real strong growth mindset, that you're wanting to learn. And again, it's a great way to build your connections within the organization, also within your industry, by doing something different and stretching. So I'd love to hear if there's any comments or questions on the chat. We are nearly coming to the end of our 30 minutes. Wow, Jane, this conversation has just flown by.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been half an hour. You and I could talk about this all day.
I know. I feel like we need to do definitely another round soon. This is definitely an area that so many people struggle with. So if you're one of those, please don't worry. You're not alone. Now, I've been there. Jane's been there, and we've really, put these strategies into place to help ourselves as well. as well as the clients that we work with. I also want to share that if you are looking to build your visibility online, I have set up a group called Visible Leaders. Now, I was really fortunate to be part of a group that was set up by Amelia Sordell, who's also another marketing expert and guru on LinkedIn. And through that involvement with the group, it's a group of really phenomenal women who support one another. They're all business leaders and business owners, absolutely great at what they do. And through this community, we've been able to support each other's confidence and engagement online. And this was a great opportunity that has helped me and given me a lot of confidence. And I would love to be able to do that and provide that opportunity for my community as well. So if you're a leader, a business owner that is really looking to increase your visibility online, DM me and just DM me saying visible leader, and I will add you to that community, because being part of a tribe and being part of a community that is on the same page, that are all trying to achieve the same goal of increasing their visibility online, it's a really great way of supporting one another. So just feel free to DM me visible leader and I will add you to our community. Jane, love to hear from you because you've got some exciting things going on as well. What would you like to share?
I do. Thank you, Simi. I'm very much like you. We have this very close alignment in what we do and why we're so passionate about what we do. I have just started a new group on Facebook. I had a Facebook group that I loved, but it was only niched down to women. And I had a realization or a revelation that so many of my clients who I love to work with are men. So I've just started a brand new group this week called Visibility, Influence and Impact for Coaches, Consultants and Course Creators on Facebook. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always open to connection requests, and DM me if you want to be part of Visibility, Influence and Impact. I'm going live in there quite regularly and sharing tips about getting visible, and I'll be building that kind of collection of video content in there that you can learn from, and I'll create guides from that as the group develops. So thank you, Sims.
Amazing, Jane. That sounds really, really good. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of traction with that, and there'll be so many tips and strategies that you'll share. So fabulous, Jane. Really great to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. A big thank you to Gernit for joining, Vinodi, Sharon. It's amazing to have you here as part of the show today. Everyone else who's joined as well. Thank you ever so much. Wishing you all the very best for the rest of your day. And we look forward to seeing you next Friday, the same time, same place. If you're really enjoying this show, which I hope you are, please feel free to share it with your network as well. We'd love to build up this community and support as many leaders and business owners that we can. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Thanks, Simi. Bye.
Thanks, Jane. Bye-bye.